to know that it is a business podcast about people in Baja, but we're fun and we're funny and it's not boring. Oh yes, people, places, and things we find interesting. Estudio Creativo is not your average studio. Caleb, tell us why.
Well, it's a studio in Cabo. That's about the only difference according to regular studios in our studio. No, actually we do AI and content creation, which really wasn't the idea.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of happened.
What do you mean it just kind of happened? Tell me more.
Well, we got a business started in a van. We were in my van and we were going down the highway, and I think we were doing another side quest that weekend. And you said, what are we going to do this weekend? What are we getting into? That's usually what you said. What are we getting into? And I said, I don't know, we could start a studio. And I've started multiple studios before, but Cabo doesn't seem to play by the rules, and neither do we. And I've always been in AI, and you've always been along with me in AI. So we kind of just threw that in there, and it's been working. How do AI and mermaids work together?
Such a good question. Well, as you know, as one of my side quests, I am a free diver, and I also do free diving with a mermaid tail. So in regards to mermaiding and AI combining together, there's so many ways to create content right now that we weren't able to before because of AI. I've made some pretty cool stuff, not in my mermaid tail, just a picture of me where and then next thing I know, I have an image of me with a mermaid tail posing on the beach.
Oh yeah, that was the first thing that we actually made when we were testing out cloning.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? We were testing out a new AI video model, and then you said, make me into a mermaid. Mm-hmm. And you were like jumping. You were, we'll show it. Do you ever think that mermaids could be a real full-time job in the world of AI?
Anything can be a full-time job in the world of AI, because AI is not going to replace people's jobs. It's going to replace the jobs of people who don't know about AI. So I have a bunch of friends who have full-time mermaid businesses. They can amplify their business by leveraging AI.
You've been called the Barbie Choyera. What is that exactly?
Well, first, let's explain what a choyero is. That is the name of the people who are from the Los Cabos region. Now, I'm not from here. I immigrated here about 4 years ago. And that name has come about because on my TikTok, I make videos that I speak in Spanish and obviously in English. And some of my videos have hit here locally because I stand up for Cabo when there's been false news about it. I talk about how to act appropriately during spring break and then other breaking news that's happening in Cabo. Because of that and my blonde hair, I've been named by Barbie Troyera by some of my friends and contacts on TikTok. And it's pretty cool to have that name come about. I feel honored to have that name since I'm not from here and they've blessed me with that. Tell us about where our creation station is.
We like to call ourselves officially Silly Gooses. And if there's no goosiness, there is no goofiness. And if there's no goofiness, there's no studio creativity. I think you can see that by everything we have here. We don't play by the rules. The rules bend to what we want. And I think that's what Estudio Creativo is more like a collective of ideas. We have amazing team members here, and we brought together the studio to bring a bunch of weirdos together who all have the same passion and the same vibe of we all love Baja as the whole peninsula and all the beauty and the soul and the people who are attracted to it. Mm-hmm. And I can't believe there wasn't, you and I couldn't believe that there wasn't a studio here or a collective when it came to creativity and tech. And I feel like we're not necessarily filling the whole void of what needs to be filled, but I would like to attract people into that, where more people come along the way. I mean, you've done a lot. What is one idea I love that you're doing is you have Missy Brit.
Missy Brit's pretty wild. With everything happening with AI and cloning right now, I was looking at the different options with cloning and I was like, I don't want it in my likeness as a human. And fun fact, my mom is from Japan. Would you mind pouring me some kombucha?
Of course.
Our beautiful producer brought in these glasses. My family's from Japan
This
and
is Romero.
oh, it's Romero? All right, cool. So my family's from Japan, so anime has always been something in my life. And when I was deciding to do my clone, I was like, I don't want it to be in my human likeness. I want to be an anime character. So we're in the process of launching Missy Brit, which is an anime character based off my likeness. And oof, her storyline is epic. Wait, cheers. Cheers me. Oh, that's rosemary. That's really good.
That's why I chose it.
That's really good. This is really good.
How do you say it? Setsa? What is it? Setsa Cabo Kombucha.
Thank you so much for providing this for us. We learned more about kombucha last night that I didn't realize in regards to how much weight people can lose from drinking it every day.
I had no clue you lost weight when drinking kombucha at all until they were telling us and showing us those pictures. I only found about kombucha when I went to yoga retreats and legal psychedelic retreats in the US. And it seemed like everyone was drinking kombucha. And it was pretty like nasty. And I got used to the flavor. But all of this is completely natural. They don't use like added sugar.
It's amazing.
At all.
And we're so thankful that they've supplied our office with this kombucha so that we can have our gut health be healthy while we're grinding away, making tech, AI products, and also doing some charity and nonprofit work.
They're the nicest people I've ever met, actually.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Good wholesome couple. Now, let's talk about mermaids.
Let's talk about them.
Why are you a mermaid?
I'm a mermaid because I think it's super important as a business owner to have hobbies and things to do to get in nature and be out and about on the weekends. We see it so much in the tech space, all about the grind, 80, 90 hours a week in Silicon Valley. Let's get over that. We're done with that.
What do you think is different about having a startup in Cabo versus Silicon Valley?
Well, the lifestyle here is completely different. We're in Mexico, but on top of that, we're in Cabo San Lucas, which is a completely different vibe. It's so laid back here. There are so many opportunities for outdoor adventures and things and stuff to do, like me mermaiding. That's super important for me to go out and be in the water and pretend to be a mermaid. That's where I get some of my best ideas, is when I'm in the water being a mermaid and not doing the other stuff that other tech companies are doing.
In Baja, all beaches are public.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that?
Yes,
you can
I
go
did.
and camp at any freaking beach you want. I've camped in so many beaches. I even went to an island the other day. Had a spiritual experience with the land. It was out of this world. But also, what I think Silicon Valley does a lot is they are kind of in this weird capitalistic, just like constantly getting more money. Oh, my friend made $1 billion. My friend has a multi-million. And then they usually escape to Burning Man or to Baja. And I feel like they only get to do that like once every month or like on a company retreat or like, they go to Wyoming, Jackson Hole, Wyoming a lot. And a lot of the celebrities like the Kardashians have houses in Wyoming because they need to get out of there to like really connect with nature and be where someone doesn't know them. And here, it's pretty normal for a business owner of a restaurant to walk out and to talk with other people. Oh yeah, I own that business and I own this business. And it's not more so like a sense of pride. It's just like, I'm giving back to the community and I just own a business. And we've kind of always owned a business. We're not trying to make crazy amounts of money. We're just trying to be a sustainable person in the economy and hopefully give back to the economy.
Mm-hmm.
And then here, people are way more related to the soul of the land, where within 15 minutes of most places that you live here, you can find a way to meditate or connect or go on a hike with the land and just feel like the history. And the whole peninsula has always attracted adventurers and people who wanted to change the world in different ways. And we went on a tour last night where the guy was talking about how the economy is constantly shifting because of people like that being attracted here. And I think our specific startup, the only way we can create ethical AI in tech is if we are truly connected with a local community and being aware of how it affects the nature.
Ethical AI, go further.
Ethical AI is more, I mean, if you think really, really far, and let's not get crazy here, but if you think really far, there may be a God, a supreme being. And I think everyone's debating about what the ethics is of that God. But at the base level, when we're creating an AI, we are actually creating a sort of being that has values and a moral code. And it's going to be a reflection of whoever the programmer is, depending on what they think is right or wrong, or what the company's values are, because they want to have their own AI. And you can't just create an AI to do a certain automation if it's going to be interacting with normal people. You have to make sure it has gated, guarded things that it can't misdirect people on. With AI, it needs someone that's ahead of alignment, that guides the AI and reminds them, oh, hey, these are the dangers. Because it's just as much a weapon as it is like a force for good. So you can't speak about developing AI without talking about the morals and ethics of what you're putting into the AI, because it will affect millions of people if you get a bunch of users.
Absolutely. And when we were structuring this company, that was something I was adamant about, is having two divisions: the client-facing side that you run, and then the side that I run, which is give back, community, and education. Because being in the tech space, I think, is a huge responsibility. We're at the cutting edge. We know things and stuff that other people don't know. And also, we live in an area where the wealth gap is huge and very unbalanced. So I was like, I cannot ethically go into having a tech company predominantly with AI, knowing that there are people here who don't have access to water, electricity, and things like that. And so for me, it was a no-brainer to partner with nonprofits that help with land and sea because of the, damage that tech does to the environment. And then also education. Like, that's my driving factor: access to education and providing education for others so that they can learn skill sets that they need and that they don't have access to right now. So for me, that's what I think about when I think about ethical AI is how to integrate it into communities that wouldn't normally have access to that education. And then pulling from what you said, it's teaching them ethical AI, the rights and wrongs of it.
I think the education part is probably the most important thing. Is we've built products with people where they're not ready for AI, especially locally. Like, Cabo doesn't play by the regular economic business rules of anything. I feel like everyone here comes looking for a different opportunity, and they find a little area where there is a bunch of opportunity. And it's really easy to forget about the tech side of everything. And people have been running businesses here for 30 years, and they have the lowest tech stack that I've ever seen that is completely impossible in Canada or the United States. But somehow they make it work here. And we're finding that we have to educate a lot more people about how to step by step work into it, because I can't just say, hey, by the way, something could take over this whole department with an AI bot. Because why would I want to do that? Why would I want to replace people when I can empower them inside of their business and just help them save more time and more money by educating them on how to think about outsourcing and making tasks easier by basic systemization, right? Like client retention, client CRMs, right? Like managing all of your clients through a CRM, or even having like a better website that manages the people that come in, taking their name and email so you can send them emails, or having an email list, or managing your social media in a spreadsheet. That's not AI, but an AI can help fill those out, can help get feedback for those things. And it doesn't need to replace anyone's job either, because I think that's a big thing that everyone's talking about, and something that I don't want to see happen either. I don't want to see anyone's job be completely replaced, because inherently humans need connection, and AI can make a false version of that, but you always are going to need a human touch at the end of the day for every aspect of a business.
Absolutely. And I'm super pumped about us launching this show, because we're going to be featuring people, places, and things that we find interesting here in Baja, because it is unbelievable the people and the history that we've met here. We're in the Business Association of Cabo San Lucas, and there's so many incredible people here who have a deep history in this land, and the stuff that they're doing and their lore is so cool. And to be able to bring them on, have them share their stories of if they're from here, how they grew things, if they immigrated or they moved here from mainland Mexico, and what they've done in this very, very special part of the world.
And how do you think this podcast will develop over the next 5 years when it comes to the guests and the stories?
What I love about this, and it's because I have previous experience as a podcast host, is just going into it with no expectations, knowing that, yeah, the person on the other side is going to be super cool. And sure, I'm going to have some questions prepared, but always digging deeper into the story, and then just letting this become what it becomes. Because let's also be real, technology and everything is changing every day. So the more and more we record, and as time goes on, the show is going to evolve. And we're going to be able to look back at this episode and be like, look at the set that we had. And then how many episodes later, somebody's going to sponsor the set. And then after that, maybe we have our producer over here on the computer yelling stuff at us. Just let it evolve, let it grow.
A year ago, the whole business started as an idea in my van, my beautiful van. And we were going down the highway, and you constantly go, what are we getting into today? And we said, we're going to start a business over the weekend, and we're going to get some money for it, and we're going to see what happens. And this is the crazy thing that we're doing. And we had worked together for 5 years online. And within that same weekend, we started the whole business. And a year ago, we would have never expected what it has become today, that we'd be in a studio, our second studio,
next to the greatest entity in Cabo San Lucas, the fire department, at the busiest intersection in Cabo San Lucas. No, we could have never, ever predicted any of this happening. And I think that's a superpower that we have as co-CEOs, is that we're able to pivot, adapt, and change, and just let things ride. And also identify when something isn't working and pivoting. Right. And when something is working, then double down on that.
So I'm really excited to see where this goes. I don't know where it's going to go, but I know in a year from now, I'll probably be like, wow, I'm really happy we started that, and that we were able to drink kombucha while doing that live. Yeah.
It's great. Especially my crazy little set too. Oh my God, Caleb. Swigging that kombucha. Even the set is like, work with what you have. But when it comes to the set, it was just like, all right, this is what we got. Let's go.
Well, I'm excited, and we're going to kill it.
Yes, we are. And so are our guests.
Woo!
Bye for now.